Hey Ryan, you ever have those days where everything looks normal, but something inside feels off?
Yeah, like you're doing your life, but not really living it. Like you're moving, working, smiling, and still thinking, wait, where am I even going?
Do you feel like you're just going through the motions every day without a real purpose? Because if you don't know what you want out of life, it gets very easy to drift into someone else's dream. And today, we want to help with that. Gently, step by step. We're going to talk about how to figure out your core values, follow your curiosity, and start finding your true direction. So if that strange, heavy, blurry feeling has been sitting in the background of your life lately, we want to say this first. You are not broken.
Yeah, you're not lazy, and you're not failing at life. Sometimes you just wake up one day and realize, oh, I've been on autopilot for a while.
And that can feel scary because from the outside, your life may look completely fine. You go to work, answer messages, do your routine, maybe even smile and say, I'm good.
Meanwhile, inside, something feels disconnected. Like your body showed up, but the rest of you is still loading.
Exactly. And today, we want to talk about that feeling without pressure. No dramatic, reinvent yourself by next week energy. Just a calm conversation that helps you understand what really matters to you.
And we made a free PDF for this episode too. It's a core values questionnaire, and you can find it in the description. It gives you guided English questions to help you reflect on what matters, what drains you, and what direction might actually feel like yours.
We're also going to do a word tour later, where we'll slow down and review useful vocabulary from this episode. Words like autopilot, core values, curiosity, and clarity.
So you're getting two things today: better English, and hopefully a little more honesty about your life.
And here's something we'd love to hear from you in the comments. What is one thing you feel curious about right now, even if it seems small?
Tiny curiosities count. In fact, today, they matter a lot.
And if you like learning English in this calm little space with us, you can stay with us by subscribing.
Okay, let's start with the stuck feeling itself, because it's a lot more normal than most people admit.
I think a lot of people feel stuck quietly.
Very quietly. People don't usually walk into a room and say, "Hi, I have no clue what I'm doing with my life."
Which is funny because if they did, half the room would probably say, honestly, same.
Yeah, same shoes, same confusion.
And sometimes being stuck doesn't look dramatic. You're not falling apart. You're not having some huge crisis every morning. You're just flat, a little numb, a little disconnected from your own life.
Right. You still do what you're supposed to do. You wake up, check your phone, answer emails, make coffee, forget where you put the coffee.
A very real problem.
Deeply real. But yeah, you function. That's what makes it confusing, because you think nothing is exactly wrong, so why do I feel so off?
And that's important. Sometimes the pain is not loud. Sometimes it sounds more like, I don't feel excited anymore. Or, I don't know what I'm moving toward. Or, is this really the life I want?
Oh, that last one. Yeah, that one sneaks up on you.
It does. So let's pause for a second and ask you directly. Are you on autopilot right now?
Like, really ask yourself, are you choosing your days or just surviving them?
Because autopilot means moving automatically, doing things without feeling fully present, fully awake, fully intentional.
Like your calendar knows where you're going, but your heart did not approve the trip.
That's actually a very good way to put it.
Thank you. I have my moments.
And if that's where you are right now, please hear this. Feeling stuck does not mean you're weak. It does not mean you missed your chance. And it definitely does not mean everyone else secretly understands life and you somehow got left out.
I think a lot of people are just very busy following routines they never stopped to question.
Yes, and routines can be good. They can support us. but sometimes routines become a form of sleepwalking. We keep doing things not because they feel meaningful, but because they feel familiar.
And familiar can feel safe, even when it feels empty.
Exactly. That's the trap. We confuse familiar with right.
Oof, that lands.
So if you've been feeling lost, this experience is deeply human. It happens during transitions, after burnout, after disappointment, sometimes even after success that didn't feel as good as you expected. And sometimes it happens after years of simply living by default.
Living by default is such a strong phrase.
It is. It's that feeling that you never fully chose the shape of your life. You just kept saying yes to the next expected thing.
School, job, be productive, be responsible, keep going. Don't ask too many emotional questions.
Exactly. And then one day, your inner voice gets tired of being ignored.
It taps on the window like, "Hi, we need to talk."
And that moment can feel scary, but it can also be honest, because the stuck feeling is not always a dead end. Sometimes it's a signal.
Yeah, a signal feels better than a failure.
Much better. A signal says, something needs attention. It doesn't say, you are ruined.
And that change matters, because if you think I'm failing, you panic. But if you think I'm getting a signal, you get curious.
Yes, and curiosity is much kinder than panic.
Also more useful. Panic mostly just makes you open 17 tabs and solve nothing.
Very true. So let's talk about one reason we lose our way in the first place: following society's timeline.
Oh, society loves a timeline.
It really does. By this age, you should know who you are. By this age, you should be successful. By this age, you should be more certain, more settled, more impressive somehow.
Meanwhile, real life is messy. People change. Energy changes. What made sense to you at 22 may feel completely wrong at 32.
Exactly. But when outside expectations get too loud, we stop asking a basic question: what actually matters to me?
Not what looks impressive. Not what makes people clap. Not what sounds good in a short bio.
Right. What feels true? What feels meaningful? What gives you energy instead of quietly draining it?
Because that's the weird part. You can be doing all the right things and still feel empty.
Yes. And that emptiness is often information. It may be telling you that your life is organized around pressure, not values.
Okay, slow that down, because that's huge.
So, values are the things that matter deeply to you. Not trendy things, not borrowed things. Your actual inner priorities. Maybe honesty matters to you, or freedom, or peace, or creativity, or connection, or growth.
And when your daily life moves against those values, you feel friction.
Exactly. Friction is the perfect word. Like something inside you is rubbing the wrong way all day, even if you can't explain it yet.
So maybe the problem is not, I have no purpose. Maybe the problem is, I'm disconnected from what I value.
Yes. And that is a much gentler place to begin.
Because purpose can sound huge, like a mountain speech, wind in your hair, meaningful music in the background.
It can. But values are simpler, closer, more grounded. They're like a compass.
Not a full map, a compass.
Exactly. A map shows every road. A compass just helps you face the right direction.
And honestly, when you feel lost, that is enough. You do not need your whole 5-year plan by Tuesday. You just need to stop spinning in circles.
Yes. One true direction. One honest next step. And that begins with understanding your values, because they quietly shape the kind of life that will actually feel like yours.
So let's get practical. How do you figure out your core values when your brain currently feels like fog and toast?
Fog and toast is weirdly accurate. So yes, let's talk about how to find that inner compass and why the word passion might be putting way too much pressure on you. This is where a lot of people freeze. They think, okay, I need to find my purpose. And suddenly it feels like they need one giant answer.
Yeah, one perfect passion, one beautiful sentence that explains their whole existence. No pressure.
Exactly. And honestly, that pressure can make people shut down completely.
Because passion is a heavy word. It sounds big, loud, certain. Like you should wake up one day, sit straight up in bed and go, I know now. My destiny is handmade furniture and mountain documentaries.
Which would be a very specific life.
I'd still watch it.
Same. But real clarity is usually quieter than that. It often begins with small curiosity.
And curiosity is gentler. It doesn't ask, what are you meant to do forever? It asks, what interests you a little bit right now?
Exactly. And that question is much easier to answer when you feel lost. Because maybe you don't know your life purpose today, but maybe you do know that you feel curious about design, or teaching, or cooking, or psychology, or writing, or helping people feel safe.
Or maybe it's even smaller. Maybe you're curious about journaling, or taking one class, or reading about something at midnight instead of watching videos you don't even enjoy.
Yes. Curiosity often arrives as a small spark, not a firework.
Which is good. Less pressure, fewer emotional explosions.
And this really matters. You do not need to start with a massive passion. That idea can actually block you. Because when people can't find one grand, life-defining passion, they assume they have nothing.
When really, they may have 10 small clues.
Exactly. Small clues matter. They show you where your energy naturally goes. They show you what pulls your attention without force.
That's such a big difference. Pressure pushes. Curiosity pulls.
Beautifully said. Pressure says, you should care about this. Curiosity says, come look at this.
One feels like a lecture. The other feels like an open door.
Yes. And when you've been stuck for a while, open doors matter more than big speeches. You need something light enough to approach.
So how do you actually identify your core values in real life?
One simple way is to look at your emotional patterns. Not your ideal self, not the polished version of you. Your actual daily experience.
Your normal Tuesday self. Not your fantasy interview self.
Exactly. Ask yourself, when do I feel most like myself? When do I feel calm, proud, energized, useful, connected, or quietly alive?
And on the other side, when do I feel drained, resentful, fake, heavy, or weirdly empty, even after doing everything right?
Those questions matter because values often reveal themselves through emotion. If you feel consistently drained in spaces where image matters more than honesty, maybe authenticity is one of your core values.
If you feel happiest when you're helping someone solve a problem, maybe service matters to you, or usefulness, or connection.
Yes. If you come alive when you're learning, then growth may be one of your values. If you feel deeply relieved when you have space and flexibility, freedom may matter more to you than status.
So your emotions are not just random drama, they're information.
Often, yes. Not every feeling is a perfect instruction, but patterns matter. Repeated emotional patterns can point to what your inner compass has been trying to say for a long time.
I like that because it means your life has already been giving you clues.
It has. Here's a simple example. Imagine two people in the exact same job. One feels steady and fulfilled. The other feels trapped and restless.
Same job, different compass.
Exactly. Maybe the first person values stability, teamwork, and structure. That job fits. The second person may value creativity, independence, and exploration. So even if the job looks good, it feels wrong in their body.
Which explains why advice from other people can feel so confusing. They hand you their map, but your compass points somewhere else.
Yes. And this is also why comparing yourself to other people is so dangerous when you feel lost. You may end up copying a life that makes sense for them, but slowly empties you out.
Living someone else's dream is exhausting, even if it's a very shiny dream.
Exactly. It can look successful from the outside and still feel lonely on the inside.
So then comes the part people often avoid: action.
Gentle action.
Not change your whole life by Friday.
Definitely not. More like this. Take one tiny step that gives you information.
Because action brings clarity.
Yes, we often wait for clarity before acting, but very often clarity comes after action. You try something, and then your mind and body respond. Oh, that felt interesting. Oh, that felt heavy. Oh, I want more of that. Nope, not for me.
It's like adjusting the compass while you're actually walking.
Exactly. Stillness can make confusion louder. Movement, even tiny movement, gives you feedback.
So a tiny step could be reading one book on something you're curious about, taking one class, volunteering once, messaging one person in a field you want to understand better.
Yes. Or writing for 10 minutes each morning. Or trying a hobby for 1 month. Or asking yourself every evening, what gave me energy today?
Small enough to do, small enough not to scare yourself out of it.
Exactly. The goal is not to prove your purpose immediately. The goal is to collect honest data.
That phrase is so helpful. Honest data.
Because every small action teaches you something. Maybe not forever truth, but useful truth, directional truth.
Like, I thought I wanted that, but actually I just liked the idea of it.
Yes. Or, I didn't expect to enjoy this, but I felt very present while doing it.
And this is where we want to ask you something directly. What is one thing you feel curious about right now, even if it seems small?
Write it in the comments. One small curiosity. It does not have to be impressive. It does not have to sound deep. It just has to be real.
Because that small curiosity may be the beginning. Not the whole answer, just the beginning.
And beginnings are enough. Really. You do not need the full map yet. You just need your next true direction.
So before we wrap up, let's slow everything down and do a word tour so these ideas stay with you, not just emotionally, but in your English too. Okay, welcome to the word tour, our calm little language corner.
We're going to go through useful words and phrases from today, slowly and clearly, so you can understand them, say them, and use them in your real life.
And these are good words, real words, the kind that help you talk about your inner life without sounding like you swallowed a self-help book.
Exactly. Let's start with the word stuck.
Stuck means unable to move forward, not progressing.
Example, I feel stuck in my job.
Or, I want to change, but I don't know where to begin.
Repeat after me. I feel stuck right now.
Next, autopilot.
Autopilot is when you do things automatically, without thinking much or feeling very present.
Example, I've been living on autopilot lately.
Repeat after me. I've been on autopilot.
Next phrase, going through the motions.
This means doing your usual activities without real feeling, energy, or intention. You still do everything, but your heart is not really in it.
What example? I was going through the motions for months.
Repeat after me. I'm just going through the motions.
Next word, direction.
Direction means the path you are moving in, or the sense of where your life is heading.
With example, I want more direction in my life.
Repeat after me. I need a little direction.
Next, Purpose.
Purpose is the feeling that your life or actions have meaning, that what you are doing matters to you.
Example, I'm trying to find a stronger sense of purpose.
Repeat after me. I want to live with purpose.
Next phrase, core values.
Core values are the deepest principles or qualities that matter to you. Things like honesty, freedom, peace, growth, or connection.
Example, I'm learning what my core values really are.
Repeat after me. My core values matter. My core.
Next word, compass.
A compass is a tool that shows direction. North, south, east, west. In today's episode, we used it as a metaphor. Your values are your inner compass.
Its example, my values act like a compass.
Repeat after me. I'm looking for my inner compass. I'm looking for.
Next, curiosity.
Curiosity is the desire to learn, explore, or understand something. It feels lighter than pressure.
Example, I'm following my curiosity instead of forcing a passion.
Repeat after me. I want to follow my curiosity.
Next word, pressure.
Pressure is that heavy feeling that you must do something perfectly, quickly, or impressively.
What example? The word passion creates too much pressure for me.
Repeat after me. I want less pressure.
Next, clarity.
Clarity means clear understanding. When something starts to make sense in your mind.
Example, action brings clarity.
Repeat after me. Small actions bring clarity.
Next phrase, tiny step.
A tiny step is a very small action you can take now. Not a huge change, just one manageable move.
What example? My tiny step is to write down what I'm curious about.
Repeat after me. I can take one tiny step.
And one more word, drifting.
Drifting means moving without clear control or direction, like floating on water.
Example, I don't want to keep drifting through life.
Repeat after me. I'm done drifting.
Okay, let's do a quick pronunciation round.
Autopilot.
Core values,
Curiosity.
clarity,
Going through the motions.
tiny step.
And if some of these words still feel new, that's okay. The goal is not perfection. The goal is familiarity.
You hear them, repeat them, notice them again later, and slowly they start to feel like your words too.
And these are beautiful words to learn because they help you talk about your real inner life in English.
Which is kind of the whole point here.
So if you've been feeling stuck lately, we hope this episode gave you something gentler than pressure.
Not one giant life answer, just a real place to begin.
Because finding your purpose usually does not happen in one perfect moment. It happens slowly, when you notice what feels true, what gives you energy, what keeps quietly pulling you back.
You do not need the full map today. Just your next honest step. That's enough. Really.
And if you want to keep reflecting after this, don't forget the free PDF in the description, our Core Values Questionnaire. It will help you put these ideas into simple English and start listening to your own inner compass.
And write this in the comments if you feel like sharing. What is one thing you're curious about right now?
Thank you for spending this time with us.
And if this calm little space helps you learn English and understand yourself a little more, you can like the video and subscribe.
Take care of yourself.
And we'll see you in the next one.